My brother-in-law ended a man and I can't move on. My sister married someone who ended up ending someone. Now after more than half a decade, I still can't watch true crime or keep a conversation with someone who wants to talk about true crime. And when I tell my best friends I don't want to hear about it, they get annoyed. And I try to explain that not only was my brother-in-law my sister's husband but also a close friend to me. And it hurts that someone we loved could end someone else in cold blood. And the effect it had on us as people. Or the harassment we took. People couldn't believe we didn't know that this man was capable of such a horrible crime. And we were young, so in the beginning we fought against the comments, until we learned it was true. I don't think a lot of people think about what the family members of these people feel, and I feel guilty just for being upset about it. My crush smokes and I hate it. Some weeks ago I met this guy at school, and I started to feel attracted quickly. He's funny, clever and handsome. Obviously there's a problem, he smokes and drinks alcohol regularly. I'm aware of the multiple risks of drinking, rarely I drink too, but I can't stand smoking for the smell and the risks. My grandfather got cancer due to smoking too much and I can't accept a guy who can be exposed to the same risk. I'm scared of losing feelings for him. He's one of the best guys I've ever met. I think he's interested too and I really want to know him better. Found someone guilty of murder today. I was on a jury. The judge advised we can discuss the case since the jury service is concluded. My first time serving, was chosen as foreman. The prosecution presented all their evidence and witnesses, and the defense barely objected to anything. I think only a couple of questions on cross-exam of one witness. Case started beginning of month and got delayed a bit, so some details are a bit fuzzy. Murder with special circumstances, committed during armed robbery. One person killed. We discussed everything. We tried to keep open minds and judge the evidence as presented. The defense attorney called no witnesses, did not make much of the case at all. The defendant pleaded not guilty, so all of us were wondering, but we can only use what they give us. I'm pretty sure I know where the penalty phase can go, and while I'm glad we were able to provide a sense of justice to the victim's family, I can only think about both families, present in court today, and how they are all victims here. So many lives affected, all for a little cash. I really don't know how to feel, was hoping this might help. I can't sext with my husband. I am a professional writer and have no issues adding smut into the books I write. However, when it comes to writing a dirty text to the love of my life, I just can't think of the right thing to say. It always comes off as sounding dull and unimaginative. My son came out to me. We were walking in the park. We do that sometimes, go for walks together. When it is just him and I often open up to him about things I don't say around my daughter. We were talking about relationships. I asked him, "Are there any girls at school you are interested in?" He turned to me, flustered, as if there was something he had been meaning to say for a long time. He said, "About that, now that we are on the subject, I am not interested in girls." My son had never spoken to me about any crushes he had, nor had he shown any inclination one way or the other. I am sure there were signs, but as a father, I was completely oblivious. Well, as far as relationships go, if the people love each other and decide to stay committed to each other, then I guess it doesn't matter if they are the same gender. I then spoke to him about Kinsey's spectrum of sexuality. I told him that there is a scale from 1 to 6, where 1 is completely heterosexual, and that 6 is completely homosexual. I asked him where he thought he fell on that scale. He told me between a 4 and a 5. So I said, "So there's a chance." Father of the Year, I know. Earlier today I was at the store looking at books, and I found this novel about two boys who become friends and then fall in love with each other. He has never been interested in books like that, but I bought it with the intention of giving it to him, but I am reading it first myself. I want to understand my son.